Happy Friday, fourth graders. So this is going to be our introduction for week 23 playlist, which will begin next week. In math, we are going to be learning 4.9a, which is data representation. And we're going to use frequency tables, dot plots, and stem and leaf plots to complete that. 4.9b is related. We're going to solve 1- and 2-step problems using that data. We're going to go back and review a skill that we still are having some concerns with, 4.4h, which is 1- and 2-step division problems with those remainders. And then finally, we're going to look to the future, and we're going to look at 4.5c and d, area and perimeter. We're going to start touching on that. That doesn't come up for a couple weeks yet. In science, we're going to wrap up changes in weather, which is 4.8a, and then we are going to go back and review the water cycle, 4.8b. This should be familiar with you. You guys have been doing this for a couple years now. So this is up on our board. As always, this is our playlist, and this is how we play. You have until the deadline above to complete the list, which will be on February 15th. That gives you a good solid 2 weeks to do it. There's going to be 3 items that will have a mustard bottle next to them. Make sure you complete those 3. There's going to be about 6 items that are going to have a pickle jar next to them. You must pick 3 of those, your choice. And finally, if you're all done with that, the one with the ketchup bottle, as always, use that to catch up on everything else. Manage your time well, and don't forget there's going to be a survey to complete at the end. So here are the things that you must do. In small group, we're going to continue strengthening those 1- and 2-step division problems. So make sure you bring your math journal and your goal tracking folder. We're also going to answer questions and help you along with representing data in graphs and tables. And we'll use some of our science STEM scopes as a resource to help us with that. During Tech Talk, you're going to watch a short video on dot plots. Then after that, in your centers, there's going to be folders that are going to have data and graphs applied to you. Pick the one that's most challenging to you, and then I want you to solve it. And the way you're going to show it to me that you got it, you're going to get a flip grid, and you're going to do a little 2-minute, Mr. Wilson, this is how I solved my problem. So both that code, that QR code, and then hyperlink will be up on the board for you to do it. Finally, the last thing you must do is you're going to complete pages 281 and 282 in your motivation math. You can do this with a partner, by yourself, or in groups of 3. Show all your work. Make sure it's turned into the basket. Okay, you can choose from these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different things to do. First thing, as a challenge, keep going in motivation math. Go on to page 283, which is your critical thinking. You can work on this independently in groups or no more than a group of 3. You can turn this into the basket, or you can present this to the class. Here's another choice. Prepare a weather report for the next morning after the announcements. Your report should include high and low temperatures, wind speed and direction, type and amount of precipitation, and you can do this with a partner or by yourself. Another choice you have, count the number of square tiles, ceiling tiles in our classroom. This is called your area. I also want you to count the number of sides of the ceiling tiles that are adjacent or touching the walls. This is called your perimeter. Go out to our class Padlet and record your responses out there so that I get an idea that you may start understanding what area and perimeter are all about. Here's another choice. On AR360, I've set a path for you already. You can either choose wild weather to read, which is worth a ½ point, or read the story on Texas storms, which is worth 2 points. Pass your quiz at 80%, and you can add that into your AR goal. Finally, your creator Costantic choice is make a drawing of the water cycle and explain this in Ms. Kemper's 2nd grade class. You can draw it by hand or use tools in the computer, and I want you to make sure that you use all that vocabulary that we have on the anchor chart and from your science journals. Now you can record your explanation on Flipgrid, and we'll let Miss Kemper's class know when it's ready to view. Or if you want, you can go down there and present it to her live, and we'll set it up a time for you to do that. So when you're done with all that, well, you know the routine. It's catch-up time. Complete your playlist, catch up on missing work, AR goals. If you'd like to work on something from Ms. Lopez's language arts class, feel free to do that as well. Don't forget to fill in that survey at the very end. Again, the QR code is up on the board. Have fun. I'll see you guys on Monday.